Admiral Dongmin Park stood at the main window of the Earth Defense Command station. The blue marble of Earth turned slowly below him. 20 years he had served humanity, and never had he seen anything like this. The alarm bells had been ringing for 3 hours. Every screen in the command center showed the same impossible sight. Massive alien ships hung at the edge of the solar system like dark clouds. They were bigger than anything humans had ever built. Each ship was the size of a small city. Captain Sora Kim ran toward him with a tablet in her hands. Her face was pale with fear. She had been working without sleep since the ships appeared. "Admiral, we decoded their message," she said. Her voice shook as she spoke. "You need to hear this." The message played on the main screen. A tall alien creature appeared. Its skin was gray and its eyes were completely black. When it spoke, the words came out cold and harsh. "Primitive humans of Earth, I am War Commander Thexval of the Veltharian Empire. We have conquered 47 star systems. Your kind will surrender in 72 hours. You will become workers in our mines. Refuse, and we will destroy your planet completely." The message ended. The command center fell silent. Everyone stared at the screen with wide eyes. Defense Minister Jae-won Lee arrived from Earth 30 minutes later. His shuttle landed in the station's dock with a loud crash. He was breathing hard when he reached the command center. "How many ships?" he asked. 230, Captain Kim replied. "Maybe more hiding behind the big ones." "What do our weapons do against them?" Admiral Park looked at the data on his screen. The numbers were not good. "Our missiles would bounce off their shields. Our lasers might scratch their paint." "Minister." Lee sat down heavily in a chair. "The president wants to surrender. So do the leaders in China, Russia, and Europe. They say fighting is suicide." "Maybe they are right," Captain Kim said quietly. "These aliens have technology we cannot match. Their smallest ship could destroy our biggest city." Admiral Park walked to the window again. Earth looked so peaceful from here. Green and blue and white clouds. Billions of people lived down there. Children playing in parks. Families having dinner. Old people feeding birds. "No," he said. "We do not surrender." The alien demonstration came 12 hours later. War Commander Thexval appeared on every screen on Earth and in space. Behind him, massive weapons charged with purple light. "Humans, continue to delay," the alien said. "We show you our power." The purple beam shot across space faster than light. It hit Phobos, one of Mars's moons. The entire moon turned to dust in 3 seconds. The explosion lit up the sky like a second sun. Fear spread across Earth like wildfire. People ran through the streets screaming. Governments called emergency meetings. Many world leaders begged Admiral Park to accept the alien demands. But in the underground bunkers beneath Seoul, Dr. Hai Jin Cho was working on something different. She had been a physicist for 15 years. Her team had been building weapons in secret for the past 5 years. "Project Phoenix is ready for testing," she told Minister Lee over a secure video call. "But I must warn you, this weapon uses quantum energy. We do not know if it will work. It might destroy us instead of them." "What does it do?" Admiral Park asked. Dr. Cho showed them a small metal device. It looked like a silver ball with wires coming out of it. "It breaks apart matter at the smallest level, makes atoms forget how to stick together. In theory, one of these could destroy an entire alien ship." "In theory," Minister Lee repeated. "What about in practice?" "We have never tested it on anything bigger than a mouse," Dr. Cho admitted. "The mouse disappeared completely. Not even dust was left." The 60-hour mark passed. Earth's leaders held one final meeting. Most wanted to surrender immediately. The alien ships had moved closer. They now hung over Earth's moon like giant metal vultures. Admiral Park stood before the World Council. His uniform was clean and pressed. His back was straight. When he spoke, his voice carried across the world. "Today, aliens came to our home. They pointed guns at our children. They told us to bow down like dogs. They think we are weak because our ships are smaller. They think we are stupid because our weapons are older." He paused and looked at each leader on the screen. "But they do not know humans. They do not know that we fought wars for thousands of years. They do not know that we never give up. They do not know that we would rather die free than live as slaves. Theo, British Prime Minister, interrupted. Admiral, be realistic. They will kill everyone on Earth. Maybe, Admiral Park replied. But some things are worth dying for. Freedom is one of them. Captain Kim received the final alien message with 1 hour left on their countdown. War Commander Thexval appeared again. This time he looked angry. Humans have not responded. Your time ends soon. Surrender now or watch your cities burn. Admiral Park walked to the communication panel. He opened a channel to the alien fleet. His message went out on all frequencies in space. Every human in the solar system heard it. Every alien ship received it. The message was simple. One word. No. The alien response came immediately. Energy weapons charged across their entire fleet. The purple light grew brighter and brighter. War Commander Thexval's face appeared on screens across the galaxy. Then you die like the primitive animals you are. But Admiral Park was already moving. He activated the emergency defense protocols. Every human ship in space received the same order. Every defense station powered up their weapons. Every soldier on Earth picked up their guns. Dr. Cho's Phoenix devices were loaded into missiles and torpedoes. They had built 12 weapons in total. It was not many, but it would have to be enough. The war for humanity's survival was about to begin. Captain Kim looked at Admiral Park as the alien ships moved into attack position. Do you really think we can win? Admiral Park watched Earth turn below them. Somewhere down there, children were sleeping in their beds. Somewhere, parents were reading bedtime stories. Somewhere, old couples were holding hands and watching the sunset. I do not know if we can win, he said, but I know we will fight, and sometimes that is enough. The first alien attack hit Earth's orbital defenses at exactly midnight Earth time. Purple beams of energy shot across space like lightning. The humans had built their defense stations from steel and concrete. The alien weapons cut through them, like hot knives through butter. Captain Tae-ho Nam was flying patrol when the attack began. His fighter was small and old compared to alien ships. But he had been flying for 10 years, and he knew every trick in the book. All units, this is Eagle 1, he said into his radio. Enemy ships are moving toward Earth. We go in fast and hit them hard. His squadron had 12 fighters. The alien fleet had over 200 ships. It should have been suicide. But Tae-ho had a plan. Do not try to fight them ship to ship, he told his pilots. We are mosquitoes attacking elephants, but even mosquitoes can kill if they bite the right spot. The human fighters dove toward the alien fleet at full speed. The aliens fired their big guns, but the small human ships were too fast and too small to hit easily. Tae-ho led his fighters between the giant alien ships like birds flying between buildings. Target their weapon ports, he ordered. Fly inside their defenses and hit them where it hurts. Pilot Mira Song followed Tae-ho's lead. She flew her fighter straight at a massive alien warship. The ship's big guns tried to track her, but she was too close and moving too fast. She fired her missiles at the alien weapon systems and watched them explode. The alien ship was not destroyed, but now it could not shoot as well. On Earth's surface, General Mi Young-seo was coordinating the evacuation of major cities. Millions of people packed into cars, trains, and buses. They moved toward underground shelters and mountain caves where alien sensors could not find them. But the general was not just running away. She was also positioning Dr. Cho's secret weapons. The Phoenix devices had been hidden in fake buildings and underground bunkers. When the aliens landed, they would get a nasty surprise. The alien ground invasion began 3 hours after the space battle started. Huge transport ships landed in major cities around the world. New York, London, Tokyo, Beijing, Moscow. The aliens chose the biggest targets first. Their soldiers were tall and gray with black eyes. They carried energy weapons that could melt through tank armor. They wore suits that stopped bullets like they were raindrops. The alien soldiers expected humans to run away screaming. Instead, they met Colonel Wu Jin Han. The colonel was waiting in the ruins of Seoul with 200 of his best soldiers. When the alien troops marched down the main street, the humans were hiding in buildings and sewers. The aliens could not see them. Wait for my signal, Colonel Han whispered into his radio. Let them get close. The alien soldiers marched in perfect lines. They moved like robots, not expecting any real resistance. They had conquered 47 worlds. Humans were supposed to be weak and primitive. Colonel Han waited until the aliens were directly below his position. Then he gave the signal. Now! Explosions erupted all around the alien soldiers. The humans had planted bombs in the buildings, under the streets, and in the sewers. The aliens' high-tech armor protected them from the blasts, but it did not protect them from falling buildings. Human soldiers poured out of hiding spots with rifles and rocket launchers. They could not match alien technology, but they knew the city better than any computer. They used every dirty trick they had learned in 100 years of human wars. Private Jinsu Park crawled through a drainage pipe with a bag full of grenades. He came up behind a group of alien soldiers and pulled the pins on all his explosives at once. The blast killed him, but it also took down 6 aliens. Sergeant Yoo-Jin Kim used a motorcycle to race between alien positions. She threw homemade bombs at their heavy weapons and rode away before they could shoot back. The aliens tried to chase her, but she knew every alley and shortcut in the city. War Commander Thexaval watched the battle reports from his flagship with growing anger. This was not how conquests were supposed to work. Primitive species were supposed to surrender or die quickly. They were not supposed to fight back like this. How many casualties? He asked his aide. 300 soldiers lost in the first hour, the aide replied. The humans are using guerrilla tactics. They attack and disappear like ghosts. Impossible, Thexaval said. These primitives do not have the technology to challenge us. But the reports kept coming in. Human fighters were attacking alien ships with suicide runs. They rammed their small vessels into alien weapon systems, trading their lives for minor damage. It was inefficient and wasteful, but it was also working in space. Captain Tejo was leading another attack run. His squadron was down to 6 fighters now, but they had damaged dozens of alien ships. The aliens were starting to group their ships together for better defense. That is exactly what we want, Tejo told his remaining pilots. When they cluster together, they cannot shoot at small targets without hitting each other. He led his fighters straight into the middle of the alien formation. The big ships tried to fire their weapons, but they had to be careful not to hit their own vessels. The human fighters danced between them like leaves in a tornado. Back on Earth, Dr. Cho was preparing her first Phoenix weapon for real combat. The device had been loaded into a special missile that could penetrate alien shields. She only had one chance to make it work. Target the alien command ship in Sector 7, General Seo told her over the radio. That ship is coordinating there. Ground assault. Dr. Cho aimed carefully and fired. The missile flew toward the alien ship at incredible speed. The aliens tried to shoot it down, but it was too small and too fast. The Phoenix weapon hit the alien ship's hull and activated. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the ship began to dissolve. The metal hull turned to powder, the energy systems failed. The entire vessel simply fell apart like it was made of sand. The aliens had never seen anything like it. Their strongest ship had been destroyed by a single small missile. War Commander Thexval stared at his screens in shock. What kind of weapon was that? He demanded. His scientists had no answer. They had never encountered technology that could break apart matter at the atomic level. These humans were supposed to be primitive, but they had weapons that violated the known laws of physics. As the first day of fighting ended, both sides counted their losses. The aliens had superior numbers and technology, but the humans had something else. They had determination. They had tricks their enemies did not expect. Most importantly, they had nothing left to lose. Captain Kim reported to Admiral Park as the sun rose over Earth. Status report, the Admiral requested. We lost 60% of our orbital defenses, she said. But we destroyed 12 alien ships and damaged 30 more. Ground forces are holding in most cities. Admiral Park nodded. It was better than he had hoped for, but not good enough to win the war. What about the Phoenix weapons? Dr. Cho's first. Test was successful. The device completely destroyed an alien cruiser, but we only have 11 weapons left. The Admiral looked out at the alien fleet. They still had overwhelming advantages. But something had changed. The aliens were not attacking as confidently as before. They were being more careful. For the first time in their history, the mighty Veltharian Empire was fighting an enemy that refused to surrender. 3 weeks had passed since the first alien attack. Earth's major cities lay in ruins, but the fighting continued. The humans refused to give up, and this was driving War Commander Thexaval insane with frustration. In the ruins of Tokyo, engineer Yujin Park was building weapons from scrap metal and broken electronics. She had been a car mechanic before the war started. Now she was humanity's best hope for evening the odds. "Hand me that circuit board," she told her assistant, a teenage boy named Dong Ho. They were working in the basement of a destroyed shopping mall. Above them, alien patrols searched for human survivors. Yujin connected wires and batteries in ways that should not have worked. But somehow, her devices could disable alien technology. She had discovered that electromagnetic pulses could confuse alien computer systems. "Test it on that scanner over there," she said, pointing to a piece of alien equipment they had stolen. Dong Ho activated Yujin's homemade EMP device. The alien scanner sparked and went dead. Its lights turned off and its screens went black. "It works," Dong Ho whispered excitedly. Yujin smiled. "Now we make 100 more. Meanwhile, deep underground in the Swiss Alps, computer expert Do-Hyun Kang was fighting a different kind of war. He had been trying to hack into alien communication networks for 2 weeks. Most people said it was impossible. Alien computers were too advanced for human technology. But Do-Hyun knew something about computers that the aliens did not understand. He knew that all computer systems had weaknesses, even alien ones. "Their security is too perfect," he explained to his team. "No system is that good unless it has hidden flaws." He had been studying captured alien devices day and night. Slowly, he began to understand how their computers worked. They used quantum processing, which was far beyond human technology, but they also used basic binary code for simple functions. "There," Do-Hyun said, pointing at lines of code on his screen. "That is how we get in." He wrote a virus using human programming techniques that alien computers would not recognize. It was crude and simple, but that was exactly why it might work. When he uploaded his virus into a captured alien communicator, something amazing happened. The device connected to the alien network and began downloading information. "We are in," Do-Hyun announced. "I can see their ship positions, their troop movements, everything." This intelligence was immediately sent to General Seo and Admiral Park. For the first time since the war began, humans knew where the aliens would attack next. Dr. Cho's Phoenix project was running into problems. The weapons worked perfectly, but they needed enormous amounts of power. Earth's power plants had been destroyed in the first attacks. The remaining Phoenix devices were useless without energy to activate them. The solution came from an unexpected source. Captain Yoon-Soo Lim was leading salvage teams into alien crash sites. Her job was dangerous and dirty, but absolutely necessary. "The alien power cores are still intact," she reported over the radio. "Even in destroyed ships, their energy systems keep working." Captain Lim and her team had to fight through alien security robots and booby traps to reach the power cores. The aliens did not want humans stealing their technology, but Lim was determined to get what her people needed. "Cut through that wall," she ordered her demolition expert. "The power core should be just behind it." Sergeant Bo-Ra-Yoon used a plasma cutter to slice through alien metal. The wall was 3 feet thick and made from materials that did not exist on Earth. But human tools could still cut it slowly and carefully. When they reached the power core, it was the size of a small car and glowing with blue energy. It contained enough power to run a city for a year. "How do we move something this big?" one of the salvage workers asked. Captain Lim smiled. "We do not move it. We bring the weapon to it." Dr. Cho was excited when she heard about the power cores. "Perfect," she said. "We can build the Phoenix weapons directly into the alien crash sites. Use their own power against them." But the most surprising development came from Master Sergeant Bo-Ra-Yoon and her mechanics. They had been studying captured alien robots and vehicles. These machines were incredibly advanced, with artificial intelligence that could think and learn. The problem with smart machines, Sergeant Yoon explained, is that they can be taught new things. She and her team had figured out how to reprogram alien robots. It was not easy. The machines fought back when humans tried to change their programming. But Yoon was stubborn and clever. Think of it like training a very dangerous dog, she told her mechanics. You have to be patient and careful, but eventually it will obey. The first reprogrammed alien robot was a maintenance unit the size of a small truck. Yoon's team taught it to repair human equipment instead of alien machinery. Soon they had a dozen captured robots working for humanity. War Commander Thexval was receiving reports that made no sense. Human technology should not be able to interfere with Veltharian systems. These primitives should not be able to hack military networks or reprogram combat robots. How is this possible? He demanded from his science officer. Unknown, Commander, the scientist replied. Human technology is inferior in every way, but they seem to find weaknesses in our systems that we did not know existed. The truth was that aliens had become too dependent on perfect technology. Their computers never made mistakes, so they never learned to handle unexpected errors. Their robots always followed orders, so they never developed defenses against reprogramming. Humans, on the other hand, had been dealing with imperfect technology for centuries. Their computers crashed all the time. Their robots broke down constantly. This had taught them to be creative and adaptable in ways the aliens could not understand. Captain Kim brought Admiral Park the latest intelligence reports from Do-hyun's hacking operation. The aliens are planning a major assault on our Australian defense positions, she said. 300 ships will attack in 2 days. Admiral Park studied the tactical display. This was their chance to test everything they had learned. Contact Dr. Cho, he ordered. I want Phoenix weapons positioned. At the Australian sites, use the captured power cores. What about Captain Lim's salvage teams? Tell them to get as many alien power cores as possible, and have Sergeant Yoon's mechanics ready with those reprogrammed robots. The plan was risky and complicated. Yujin's EMP devices would disable alien sensors. Do-hyun's hacking would confuse their communications. Dr. Cho's Phoenix weapons would destroy their ships. Captured alien robots would fight against their former masters. It was insane. It should not work. But it was the only chance humanity had. War Commander Thexval sent a message to the Veltharian High Council. Request immediate reinforcements, he transmitted. Human resistance is stronger than anticipated. The reply came back quickly. Negative. You have sufficient forces to defeat primitives. Complete conquest immediately or face replacement. Thexval stared at the message with growing fear. The High Council did not accept failure. If he could not defeat these humans soon, another commander would take his place. And the previous commander would be executed for incompetence. He decided to use forbidden weapons, planet-killing devices that would sterilize Earth completely. The High Council had ordered him to capture humans for slave labor, but dead slaves were better than no victory at all. Prepare the molecular disruptors, he commanded. We will burn this world to ashes. As the alien doomsday weapons charged with deadly energy, humanity prepared for its greatest test. Everything they had learned, everything they had built, everything they had sacrificed would be put to the ultimate challenge. The turning point of the war was about to begin. The alien doomsday weapons were charging. War Commander Thexval stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the molecular disruptors power up with purple light. In 30 minutes, they would fire at Earth and turn the entire planet into lifeless dust. Target the major population centers first, he ordered his weapons officer. New York, London, Tokyo, Beijing. Make sure the humans see their cities die before we finish the planet. But Thexval did not know that Dr. Cho's Phoenix project had reached its final stage. In hidden bunkers around the world, quantum weapons were ready to fire. The alien power cores provided more energy than the scientists had ever dreamed possible. Lieutenant Commander Jineo was sitting in her modified stealth fighter, waiting for orders. Her ship was small and fast, designed to slip past alien sensors without being detected. She had been chosen for the most dangerous mission of the war. Phoenix 1, this is command. Admiral Park's voice came through her radio. You are authorized to begin your attack run. Jin-A took a deep breath and started her engines. Her fighter shot forward like a bullet, heading straight for the alien flagship. The Phoenix weapon in her cargo bay was the most powerful one ever built. If it worked, the war might be over. If it failed, Earth would die. The alien flagship was massive, bigger than any human city. Its weapons could destroy planets. Its shields could stop nuclear missiles. But it had never faced anything like a Phoenix weapon. Jin-A flew between the alien escort ships like a ghost. Her stealth systems made her nearly invisible to their sensors. The few aliens who spotted her thought she was just space debris. "This is Phoenix 1, she reported. "I am approaching the target, beginning final approach." The alien flagship's reactor was located deep inside the ship, protected by layers of armor and force fields. But Jin-A did not need to reach the reactor. She just needed to get close enough for the Phoenix weapon to work. Her fighter slipped through the flagship's defensive perimeter. Alien point defense guns fired at her, but she was too small and too fast to hit. She dove toward the massive ship's hull like a hawk attacking prey. "Phoenix weapon armed and ready," she announced. "Firing in 3, 2, 1. She released the Phoenix weapon and pulled her fighter away as fast as possible. The quantum device flew toward the alien flagship's reactor section and activated on impact. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the impossible began. The alien ship's hull started to dissolve. Metal that had been forged in the heart of stars simply came apart. The molecular bonds that held matter together were being unraveled by forces that violated every known law of physics. War Commander Thexval felt his ship shaking beneath his feet. Emergency alarms screamed throughout the bridge. His officers stared at their screens in horror as sections of the flagship began to disappear. "What is happening?" Thexval demanded. "Unknown, Commander," his science officer replied. "The ship's structure is falling apart. Our matter is becoming unmatter." The quantum cascade spread through the flagship like a disease. Bulkheads turned to powder. Computers dissolved into nothing. Entire decks simply vanished, leaving empty space where tons of metal had been moments before. Thexval tried to evacuate to an escape pod, but the corridor leading to the pod bay had already disappeared. He was trapped on a bridge that was floating, in empty space surrounded by nothing but vacuum and distant stars. The flagship's destruction sent shockwaves through the alien fleet. Ships that had been near the flagship when it dissolved were caught in the quantum cascade. One by one, they began to fall apart as well, but the humans were not finished. Admiral Park had positioned Phoenix weapons all around Earth, powered by captured alien energy cores. As the alien fleet tried to reorganize after losing their flagship, the quantum weapons fired from hidden positions. Captain Kim coordinated the attack from the command station. "Phoenix Station Alpha, you are clear to fire." The first ground-based Phoenix weapon launched from the ruins of Sydney. It flew toward a cluster of alien ships and detonated in their midst. 3 cruisers and a destroyer simply ceased to exist. Phoenix, Station Beta, fire at will. The second weapon launched from underground bunkers in the Sahara Desert. It targeted the alien carriers that were launching fighter attacks against human cities. The carriers vanished in cascades of dissolving matter. Eugen's EMP devices activated all across the battle zone. Alien sensors went blind. Their communication systems failed. Ships that had perfect coordination moments before were suddenly flying in confusion. Do-Hyun's computer virus spread through the alien network like wildfire. Navigation systems sent ships toward empty space instead of their targets. Weapon systems shut down without warning. The aliens' perfect technology was turning against them. Master Sergeant Yoon's reprogrammed robots joined the battle. Alien maintenance. Units that should have been repairing damaged ships instead began sabotaging them. Combat robots turned their weapons against their former masters. The alien fleet was falling apart. Ships that had seemed invincible were dissolving under Phoenix weapons. Others were disabled by human viruses and EMP attacks. The mighty Veltharian war machine was being destroyed by primitives using captured alien technology. In space, Captain Tejo led his remaining fighters in one final attack. His squadron had been reduced to just 3 ships, but they carried Phoenix weapons modified for fighter use. "Remember," he told his pilots, We only get one shot at this. Make it count. They dove toward the alien command ships, dodging laser fire and missile attacks. The aliens knew how dangerous the human fighters had become. Every gun in the fleet was trying to shoot them down. Pilot Mira Song's fighter was hit by alien fire. Her ship was burning and losing power, but she continued toward her target. "My engines are failing," she reported. "I am going to ram them." Her fighter crashed into an alien battlecruiser and exploded. The Phoenix weapon detonated on impact, and the massive alien ship began to dissolve. Mira's sacrifice had eliminated one of their most powerful vessels. On Earth's surface, the final alien ground troops were in full retreat. Colonel Han's guerrilla fighters had been joined by civilians armed with Yujin's EMP weapons. Alien soldiers, who had seemed unstoppable, were being hunted through the ruins of human cities. "They are running," Colonel Han reported to General Seo. "The aliens are abandoning their positions and heading for their landing ships." But many of the landing ships were no longer there. Phoenix weapons had destroyed them while they sat on the ground. The alien soldiers were trapped on a hostile planet with no way to escape. Dr. Cho watched the battle reports from her underground laboratory. The Phoenix weapons were working beyond her wildest dreams. She had created devices that could destroy matter itself, and they were saving humanity. "Admiral," she called Park on a secure channel, "we have enough power cores to build 50 more Phoenix weapons. The aliens cannot stand against this technology." Admiral Park smiled for the first time in weeks. "Begin production immediately. I want every alien ship in this system destroyed or driven away." The surviving alien commanders sent desperate messages to their empire. The reports were almost impossible to believe. Humans had developed weapons that could unmake matter. Ships that had conquered 47 worlds were being destroyed by a species that barely had spaceflight. But the most terrifying part was not the weapons themselves. It was how quickly the humans had adapted. In just 3 weeks, they had learned to use alien technology better than the aliens themselves. War Commander Thexval, floating in his destroyed bridge with emergency oxygen running low, sent one final message to the Veltharian High Council. "Do not underestimate the humans," he transmitted. "They are not primitive. They are the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Send the Grand Fleet immediately, or humanity will destroy us all." Then his oxygen ran out, and the commander, who had conquered dozens of worlds, died in the cold vacuum of space, killed by creatures he had thought were inferior animals. The first battle was over. Humanity had won. But Admiral Park knew this was just the beginning. The aliens would return with larger fleets and more powerful weapons. The difference was that now humans had Phoenix technology, and they were ready to use it. 6 months had passed since the first alien invasion failed. Earth was rebuilding, but everyone knew the aliens would return. They had to. No empire could allow a defeat like this to go unanswered. Admiral Park stood in the new command center, built inside a mountain in Colorado. The old orbital station was gone, destroyed in the first battle, but the new facility was better hidden and better protected. Long-range sensors are picking up massive energy signatures at the edge of the system, Captain Kim reported. It looks like the entire Veltharian Grand Fleet. The main screen showed space filled with alien ships. There were over 1,000 vessels, each one larger and more dangerous than anything in the first invasion. Planet-killer ships floated next, to massive carriers. Battleships the size of asteroids powered up weapons that could crack moons. "How many?" Admiral Park asked, though he already knew the answer would be bad. 1,500 ships, Captain Kim replied. "Maybe more. They brought everything they have." Defense Minister Lee joined them in the command center. His hair had turned gray during the war, and his face showed the stress of 6 months of constant preparation. "Are we ready?" he asked. Admiral Park nodded. "Dr. Cho has built 300 Phoenix weapons. We have captured power cores from their destroyed ships. Yujin's EMP devices are hidden throughout the solar system. Du Hyun has prepared computer viruses that can shut down their entire fleet. And our people? Ready to fight," General Seo answered as she entered the room. "Captain Nam has trained 2,000 pilots in quantum fighter tactics. Colonel Han has guerrilla units on every inhabited world. We are as prepared as we can be." The Veltharian Grand Fleet moved toward Earth like a slow metal tide. At their head was the new war commander, a creature called Vextar who had never lost a battle. The High Council had sent him with simple orders. Destroy the humans completely. No prisoners this time, Vextar told his officers. No slaves. These creatures have proven too dangerous to be allowed to live. We will sterilize every planet in this system. But the aliens did not know how much humanity had changed in 6 months. Dr. Cho had not just built more Phoenix weapons. She had made them better. The new quantum devices could unmake matter across entire star systems. Captain Nam led the first wave of human fighters toward the alien fleet. His ships looked tiny compared to the massive alien vessels, but they carried weapons that could destroy planets. Remember your training, he told his pilots. We do not fight like they expect. We are not trying to win a fair battle. We are trying to kill them all. The human fighters moved in patterns the aliens had never seen before. They separated into small groups and attacked from dozens of directions at once. Each fighter carried Phoenix weapons designed to target specific alien systems. Pilot So-Young Lee dove her fighter toward an alien dreadnought. The ship was 30 times larger than her vessel, armed with enough weapons to destroy a fleet. But she flew straight at its main reactor. Phoenix weapon armed, she reported. Target locked. She fired the quantum weapon and pulled away. The alien ship's shields tried to stop the Phoenix device, but quantum energy passed through force fields like they were not there. The weapon struck the reactor and activated. The dreadnought began to dissolve from the inside out. Its massive hull turned to powder. Its weapons fell apart. Within minutes, one of the most powerful ships in the galaxy had simply ceased to exist. War Commander. Vextar watched his fleet being destroyed and could not believe what he was seeing. Human fighters were flying through his formations like they owned space. Every shot they fired destroyed ships that should have been invulnerable. Focus all fire on the human fighters, he ordered. Destroy them before they can attack again. But the aliens faced the same problem their predecessors had encountered. Human pilots were unpredictable. They used tactics that made no logical sense. They flew their ships in ways that should have been impossible. Captain Nam led his squadron directly into the middle of the alien fleet. The big ships fired everything they had, but the human fighters were too small and too fast. They danced between laser beams and missile explosions like leaves in a storm. All units target the command ships, Nam ordered. Cut off their head and the body dies. Phoenix weapons fired from 100 different fighters. Each quantum device found its target and activated. Alien command ships that had coordinated the conquest of entire star systems simply vanished. On Earth, Dr. Cho was preparing her ultimate weapon. She had built a Phoenix device the size of a building, powered by 50 captured alien reactors. This weapon could destroy the entire alien fleet with a single shot. Are you sure about this? Admiral Park asked her. If something goes wrong, it could destroy our solar system too. Dr. Cho looked at the massive quantum device. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Energy flowed through crystalline structures that bent space and time. The calculations are correct, she said. This weapon will create a quantum cascade that will unmake anything within a light-year radius. But it will only affect artificial materials. Natural matter like planets and stars will be safe. Only artificial materials, Admiral Park repeated. Like alien ships. Exactly. The order to fire came when the alien fleet moved within range of Earth. Vextar had decided to destroy humanity's home planet first as an example to the rest of the galaxy. He did not know that he was flying his entire fleet into a trap. Phoenix Ultimate, you are authorized to fire, Admiral Park commanded. Dr. Cho activated the massive weapon. Quantum energy built up to impossible levels. Space itself began to bend around the device. Reality twisted as forces beyond human understanding were unleashed. The energy beam that erupted from Earth was invisible to normal sight, but it could be felt across the entire solar system. It struck the alien fleet like the hammer of an angry god. What happened next defied description. Every alien ship in the fleet began to dissolve simultaneously. Metal that had been forged in stellar cores turned to cosmic dust. Energy shields that could stop nuclear weapons simply evaporated. 1,500 ships that had represented the military might of a galactic empire were unmade in less than 30 seconds. War Commander Vextar had just enough time to send one final message before his flagship dissolved around him. Humanity is not primitive, he transmitted to the High Council. They are death itself. Then the quantum cascade reached his ship, and the greatest military commander in Veltharian history became nothing more than scattered atoms drifting in space. The silence that followed was complete. Where once a mighty fleet had blocked out the stars, now there was only empty space and glittering dust. Admiral Park opened a communication channel that would reach across the galaxy. His message was broadcast on every frequency the aliens used. "This is Admiral Dongmin Park of Earth Defense Command, speaking for all humanity," he said. "Your grand fleet is destroyed. Your commanders are dead. Your empire now faces a choice." He paused, looking out at the debris field that had once been the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. "Retreat to your own territory and never return to human space. Accept this and you will be allowed to live. Refuse, and we will bring Phoenix weapons to every world you control. We will unmake your ships, your cities, your entire civilization." The response from the Veltharian High Council came 3 days later. It was a single word, transmitted on all frequencies: "Surrender." But Admiral Park was not finished. He had learned something important during the war. Mercy was often seen as weakness by aggressive species. If humanity showed mercy now, other aliens might see them as easy targets. "Surrender is not enough," he replied. "You will withdraw from all conquered territories. You will release all slave species. You will restrict your military to defensive forces only. Accept these terms or face the consequences." The aliens agreed to everything. They had no choice. Humanity now possessed weapons that could destroy their entire civilization. Captain Kim brought Admiral Park the final reports as the last alien ships left the solar system. "It is over," she said. "They are all gone." Admiral Park nodded, but he did not look happy. "No," he said. "This is just the beginning." "What do you mean?" "Word of this battle will spread across the galaxy. Every species will know that humans have quantum weapons. Some will want to be our allies. Others will see us as a threat that must be eliminated." He looked out at the stars, where human ships, armed with Phoenix weapons, were already beginning patrol missions. "We wanted to be left alone," he said. "Instead, we have become the most feared species in the galaxy. Every alien empire will either bow to us or try to destroy us." Dr. Cho joined them in the command center. She had been working for 36 hours straight, but her eyes were bright with excitement. "The Phoenix technology is stable," she reported. "We can build as many weapons as we need. We can also adapt the quantum principles for other uses. Faster than light travel, matter conversion, energy generation beyond anything we have ever imagined." Admiral Park smiled. It was not a happy smile, but it was determined. "Then we had better get started," he said. "If we are going to be the galaxy's greatest threat, we might as well be the greatest protector too." Human ships began leaving the solar system within a week. They carried Phoenix weapons and a simple message for any species they encountered: live in peace or face total destruction.